prefer not to be applauded. I mean, because, as I said in part one, when I told you I looked cool but, you know, was actually more nervous inside. The trouble is if you start applauding, then I start audience metering, right? So then, when I do one that, you know, I mean, inevitably there are different degrees of value in these things, right? Because they live in the empirical world with all the contingencies and, you know, I mean, et cetera, et cetera. You know, if Plato was a comedian, if he had been a comedian, every joke would be perfect, right? You know, but these jokes, they have all these contingencies. Sometimes they're a little funnier for one person for another. Sometimes somebody feels guilty that they don't feel sufficiently angry that there's a slight political incorrectness. So the thing is, obviously, if you're going to applaud every time, I am going to listen every time to see how long you're applauding, and then when you don't, and that's going to bring the content down. However, if you fear that in acceding to my request that you don't applaud, I've deprived you of an expressive resource, then when you think something isn't good, just boo, you know. That'll be all right. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. I'd like to tell you that this difficulty, this tension that we saw illustrated between the American and the Brit in the first representation goes back a long way. It goes back to the founding of the Republic. After all, America may not emphasize the fact that it turned its back on Britain now because it's supposed to be great friends, but there was a Declaration of Independence, and that was a kind of a hostile act. Now, I think the Declaration of Independence is an extremely interesting document, and I wish we knew more about the conditions of its creation. But I think we can conjecture something. We can conjecture, perhaps, how it went when Jefferson was writing the Declaration of Independence. I presume that he had a British accent in those days. We hold these truths to be true. No, it doesn't quite sound right, does it? No. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men. Come in! Master Jefferson, you want a cup of tea? Saunders, I have told you that when I'm at my desk, I'm not to be interrupted. You're behaving like a field hand. Now, please, get out of my sight. I'm sorry, Master Jefferson, only... Your intention is beside the point. What you did was to disturb me. Now, please, disappear. Yes, Master Jefferson. Equal. That they are endowed, actually this is quite inspiring stuff when you think about it, that they are endowed with certain rights, among which are life, seems reasonable, liberty, and the search, the trawling around, no, that's no good. The pursuit, yes, the life, liberty, and the pursuit. Oh, my God. I hope it's not Saunders again. Come in!
Master Jefferson!
Yes, Cindy?
Can I go into town this weekend? It's my sister's wedding, and it would give me so much pleasure to be able to be there to watch her get married.
Well, you've already had your day off this year, Cindy. I don't see...
But it would give me so much pleasure, it would enhance my life.
Well, I don't see what that has to do with it. Now, please leave. I'm busy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Master Jefferson.
Pursuit. of happiness. Right, well, that's that was how it all started. And where are we in our thingy? You don't have a menu, but I do.